Hey family, my name is Chris. I am your home gamer dad, and I welcome you back to God of War, the card game, where we'll be taking on our second quest as we continue our journey with Kratos, Atreus, and Mimir through the realms. Speaking of which, we have completed our first quest, the Ogre, so we can move up the line there to our next quest line. Almost at the final boss, but first we have to figure out which one of these two we have to take down. Our choices are the Stone Ancient and Helheim. I have decided to go after the Stone Ancient, mainly because I've seen people take on Helheim in different playthroughs of this on the internet. So I kind of want to do something a little bit different in case somebody was curious about, how a particular board works. But because I chose the Stone Ancient, we have to flip over Helheim, read that, and take the Hindrance. Going to Helheim is an insane choice, but their army will grow and grow until they threaten Midgard itself. Hindrance. Before the first round, each player removes the highest number card from their deck. I'll do that once we get down to the table, but before then, why don't we go ahead and read the Stone Ancient so we know what we're going up against. Stone Ancient. Mythical creatures and guardians of the natural world, created to protect the land. Legend holds that fragments of the creature's heart are shards of tremendous power, ideal for upgrading gear. Special rules. Use common tokens to represent heart pieces that drop from the Ancient. Don't discard common tokens when cards are flipped. The Stone Ancient cannot be stunned. Winning condition: defeat the Stone Ancient. All right, everyone, here we are, all set up and ready to go. I do apologize again if I happen to cough or wheeze or do other kind of weird sounds while doing this. I'm going to try to edit those out the best I can. But for the most part, if it happens, and I apologize. Let's not worry about that. Let's worry about taking down this big guy right here. Now, the Hindrance that was on the Helheim card says that I had to remove the highest number card from my deck. And these are actually them. I'm only going to remove one because it's just removing one card. But there are other cards inside of this monster of a deck that can go up to 6. So those are things that would make you remove. But I only have a 3. So this is permanently out of my deck. Well, not permanently. It's out of my deck for this quest. This will come back into it when we're done. But that doesn't mean it won't stay in there based on whatever the next hindrance may be. So let's take Kratos. We'll move him off camera right now. I haven't decided where I want to put him yet. Let's go ahead and shuffle these up. So unfortunately, again, that is one card less. And as a reminder to everybody, we are with Kratos, the God of War over here, the Dad of War. He has 10 health, 5 to max out his rage, and then once you do that, his next attack is +3 attack. He heals 3, and he refreshes his allies' abilities. What are those abilities, you may ask? Well, here is Atreus. We have Atreus has first ability, which is either a range attack that will stun, or I can add 3 modifier to any other attack that I happen to have. And then he has another ability where I can do a ranged attack that will target 2 enemies in the scene, or he'll give me a defense of 1, which I can also modify. I can modify these as well, but this I can also modify to take less damage. Mimir, on the other hand, has some very interesting abilities as well. First off, we have the results of the enemy die is added to the attack instead of subtracted, counting as defense for the enemy. So that is great. Do some extra damage to bigger guys, or I can just straight up heal myself too. Here, I can either move again, because you get 1 free move per turn, but this will enable you to move again. And this one pretty much says I can look at the top 2 cards of the upgrade deck and put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, any way I want to do with them. And by charging the abilities are these common tokens here. If I use it, I remove it, which means I can't use the ability until Kratos has used his rage attack in order to recharge it. So with that said and done, let's look at what we have here in terms of what we've got to work with. So the Stone Ancients, it's a weird way that they have him pictured here. They look so much cooler in the game. If I can, I'll find a picture and put it over to the right there of how these guys look. But I remember coming up against these guys and everything and being terrified the first time I saw them. And you really have to knock them around in order to let them shoot out this piece of them of sorts where you throw it at them and then it does damage. So ideally we need to kill this guy. He has 25 health, but he has infinite armor. So no matter what, we can't actually start picking away at this health until we do something else. We also have 4 Alfheim. They're from Alfheim. I forget exactly what they're called, but these 4 guys appear that are constantly coming down, and we got 2 here doing long range damage and 2 here doing melee damage. So we got a lot that we got to work with right here. The big gimmick for this map actually involves using a lot of these common tokens to represent the ancient's heart pieces. And like in the game, these are what flew out of the ancient, where you would pick up and throw it at him and they explode. In order to get them, we have to do various things, and that mainly includes attacking the ancient. Now, the stone ancient, which is on this card and this card, can be attacked, but does not take damage until it is flipped. There are flipped conditions, which I'll talk about in a minute. For each 3 damage played on either here or here, place a common token, which is an ancient heart piece, according to this, on the tracker card, which is here. So for each 3 damage played on this, so if I do an attack of 3, I would do 1. If I do an attack of 5, I do 1. If I do an attack of 6, I do 2 pieces. I don't roll the enemy dice for this because I'm not doing any damage to him anyway, so there's no defense. But it really all depends on how many points of damage I can do in order to build up more of these ancient heart pieces. In order to collect these, it's discard any number of cards from the hand in order to take the same amount of ancient heart pieces. So if I can discard 1 card, I would then take this and I would just kind of put it as a little pool. And once I have 3, I can spend 3 on either one of these cards in order to flip these 3. And that'll actually start enabling me to do damage to the ancient stone, or the stone ancient here. In addition to that, these guys actually are going to be holding some of those ancient heart pieces as well. Whenever the stone ancient is attacked, placed a piece on this card. So basically, if I attack this side of the ancient, a heart piece will always spawn here. If I attack this side of the ancient, a heart piece will always spawn here. Now, I believe that if I flip these, I collect them, but I don't know exactly what happens to everything when I flip. So maybe I want to try to take out some of these little guys around here in order to be able to thin the field a little bit so I don't have to deal so much with the ancient. But we will see as it goes along. That's pretty much the setup. That is the idea of what to do. Let's go ahead, shuffle up our cards here, and draw our first 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. I think I'm going to have Kratos start over here on this column. And straight up, I have a lot of defense cards. Why don't we just do this? So I got 3 different defense cards right here. 2. So this is what they all are. They're all defense, and then they give me certain things. So defense 2, defense 1, and then a defense 1 that'll actually deal damage back to the enemy for the amount of damage that I blocked. I got 1 ranged attack that I need a modifier for, another ranged attack that I would need a modifier for, or a +1 modifier, and then 2 +2 modifiers. So with that said, I'm actually going to take these defenses back to my hand. This is what I have to work with for the first turn. Here we go. So I have the ranged ability, which means I'm able to hit the far back row then. I think what I may be able to do, I think I'm going to use Atreus' ability down here right off the hop. Targets any 2 enemies in the scene. So if I use a range ability, then that range can target any 2 enemies in the scene. I don't think this gives me a ranged attack, whereas this gives me a ranged attack. This is just telling me that this equals this effect. So if I play this, I can modify it by 1, and then I think I'll modify it by another 2. So I can do a 3-hit damage, a long-range hit, and I'm going to attack him, and I'm going to attack him. So these are the 2 that I'm focusing on. Kratos does gain 1 rage because of using the long-range technique. And we roll the dice. 0. Okay, cool. So I've done 3 damage to these 2 guys. Because I have killed them based on what this symbol here, these 2 flip over. Come here. Okay. Good news, bad news, and all the other news in between. First off, these 2 would have healed me for 3 each. Doesn't really help me at all because I'm at full health, so whatever. For right now, these enemies are gone. But if I pull during the scene activation, either this symbol or this symbol, the card will flip back over and the enemy will respawn. So these guys are not permanently gone. Probably means these guys aren't permanently gone either. Here, Kratos, you get back in there. That means I really need to start focusing on the ancient and trying to get some of those common tokens as fast as possible before other things start going crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anything else because this is now going to my discard pile, and all I have is this modifier to go back to my hand for the defense. All right, let's bring in our upgrade deck, and we can actually do our first scene activation. I'm not going to move Kratos. I'm going to leave him right here because like he's going to be the only one that can hit me. The Stone Ancient can also hit me, but these two guys have melee attacks, so I need to be within their range. So here we go. First one. Yeah. All right, see? There you go. That's it. That's the X right there, which means this dude has respawned. Now, he's not going to activate now. All it does is flip the card back over. But if I happen to draw another X, then he will attack. Speaking of which, let's see what we got. We have this little F symbol right here, which is... It's actually the Stone Ancient right here, and then this guy. So now it's always going to be from left to right, top to bottom. So this guy is going to attack first. He's going to do a melee attack of 2 against Kratos, which I have a shield defense of 2, so I take no damage for that. And now the Ancient is going to attack Kratos for 3 damage. I have that special defense card where I deal damage to an enemy equal to the damage you block, but I have that plus a +2. So now I am defending 3 damage against a 3 damage attack. This is an attack against him because I'm doing damage to the Stone Ancient. Meaning because I did 3 damage to him, I get to put an Ancient piece over here. And then I'm going to put one up here because this is the card that attacked me. So that's the card I was doing damage to. So that's how I got 2 Ancient Heart pieces already on the board. I don't need this particular defense, so that can go back. And now I get to pick which one of these I want to take. Let's see. After using this card, remove it from your deck until the next quest. This is a one-time use +6 attack, which is, you know, I need something a little bit more permanent. I think I will take this shield right here. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm just going to take this shield. I flipped through my discard pile to see if there was anything in there I wanted to get rid of because both of these cards don't really do anything for me. But, you know, more defense is great. So we'll just put this on top. We'll put this on the bottom, and we will draw our next hand of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully we get a few more attacks in this time. All right, we got some healing, which doesn't really mean anything. We have advanced the rage meter by 2, which I really, really like. Gonna probably do that. We have the I choose whatever the heck I want card. I love that card. An attack, melee attack for 1. We have +2 modifier for defense, +2 modifier or range, and then the +2 shield defense, which this is going to go back to my hand because I'm not going to need this right now. Not that I mean it goes back to my hand. I mean, this is all still technically my hand. I'm just saying it doesn't need to be on camera. All right, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this advance 2, and we're going to move up the rage meter. So we'll go boop, boop. So now it's at 3. Awesome. I'm going to hold on to this heal 4 right now. Probably use that during the scene activation as things go crazy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Kratos. I will move Kratos right here, and we're going to start hitting the Stone Ancient. I will definitely be using this because it's a melee attack with 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and just modify it right there. So that is 3 damage to the Stone Ancient. Again, the damage doesn't go through. However, I do get to put one of the pieces here, and then one of the pieces would go up here because I did 3 damage. 3 damage means I can put 1 here, and then whenever the Stone Ancient attack, place 1 on this card. So leave that there. We got those 2. All right, got that done. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on this until the scene activation scene. So this way I have a defense that I can use, and then maybe power up, use Atreus's ability in order to be able to power that up. But before I do that, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to 4. So he's almost at 5 there, which is great. Then we're going to go over to Atreus here. I forgot to remove this from the last one, but I am actually going to remove this one as well. So I'm going to do a +3 modifier, and I'm going to apply that to my next attack, which is going to be the melee attack for this one. So this is going to do 3 damage, again, right to the Ancient Stone, the Stone Ancient here. So we'll put 1 piece there, and we put another piece here. So we're just kind of building up these heart pieces right now in order to be able to use them so we can do something later. So that's that. And what's nice is that Kratos can now go to 5 right here. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and use Mimir's ability. I'm going to use this bottom one, and we're going to look at the top 2 cards of the upgrade deck, and we're going to see what they are and put them back in any order we wish. All right, so we'll put this here. We haven't done the scene activation yet, so this is going to happen after we do all this. So we'll do 1, 2. So these are what the top 2 scene activations are. So we have an F and we have this like weird fish thing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top and this on the bottom. This is a nice one to have because it's just like a good ranged attack that automatically does damage. And if this activates, only this guy is going to attack us. So yeah, we'll do that. So you'll go on the bottom and you'll go on top. Not that matters that we are seeing activation anyway. Shaboom. Okay, so this guy is going to attack Kratos for 2. And we have ourselves a nice little defense card to block that completely. So hooray, thank you for that. Nope, I take that back. He would not actually hit Kratos because he is attacking here and here. Kratos is right here, so he actually dodges the attack. However, the Stone Ancient will hit him for 3. And I'll just boost it up by another 2 to make sure that Kratos takes 0 damage from that. Perfect. So now the next activation, the extra scene activation is, okay, that's pretty cool. I like seeing that. However, the problem is now is this guy is going to attack. So he's a ranged attack for 2 going up against Kratos. So I have nothing really to block that. So Kratos takes 2 hits. However, at the end of that, I'm going to go ahead and play my heal myself 4 here. So we're just going to go ahead and take those off, and Kratos is still fully healed. I said I wanted this one, but I'm going to take this one because the straight up +3 modifier is amazing. I had to have one removed from my deck, so I'm going to put this right back on it. Down on the bottom you go, and on to the next set of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come here. All right, so we got the drawing a card in order to cycle through the deck a little bit better. We have a melee attack, whole bunch of modifiers, a big healer if I want to discard any numbers, and then an additional modifier with a shield or a modifier to it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put this in the discard pile and draw, and we got a melee attack or a +1 modifier. Okay, cool. All right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, attack the Stone Ancient. So I'm going to use this right here. I know my rage doesn't go up anymore. It's pretty much, it's at 5, so I can't do anything else. But I'm just going to snag these 2, put these 2 in my discard pile. So I do 3 damage to the Stone Ancient again. So with that said and done, we put 1 here because I did 3, and then 1 here because I did at least 1 damage to him. Next, I'm going to use my move action, and I'm going to jump all the way over here, and I'm going to discard 1, 2, 3 cards from my hand to be able to take 1, 2, 3 of these from the supply and kind of have them ready for the next turn. So these are going to stay in my hand for the scene activation, so I at least have a little bit of defense on me. But otherwise, that next turn I should be able to flip this guy over and see what's on the other side. So come with me. Would have been nice if Mimir was still active with that bottom thing, but so I can move again, but that's okay. I haven't taken any damage. I should be okay. Yep, so let's go ahead and do our first scene activation. All right, that's fun. So this guy is going to hit me, and I think that is it. Yeah, so he's going to do 2 damage to Kratos. That's fine. I'm actually just going to take that right on here. I have plenty of ways of healing and plenty of abilities in order to be able to make sure to mitigate that and get that away. So I can take that 2 damage. All right, let's go ahead for the next draw. All right, play a single number, doubling its value. Ooh, that should be fun. And then this little fish symbol attack. So he's going to hit me for 2, and the Stone Ancient's going to hit me for 3. Unfortunately, once again, I can't really do anything about this guy, so I have to take the 2 damage from him. That's not fun. But at least with the Stone Ancient, I can put a defense and a defense of 3 there in order to block that completely. I don't do any damage back to him, but at the very least, I don't take that. And I actually think I'm going to take this one because I like the options that it gives me. I can either start a melee attack or I can modify something that already exists. And there's going to be a point where I need to do some massive damage in one shot. So having as many modifiers as I can get will be awesome. So yeah, I'm going to take this, and this will go to the bottom of the deck. 1, 2 from my draw pile. All right, quick shuffle here. And then we grab 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. All right. Melee or ranged attack. Beautiful. I love that card. We do have the melee attack that could also be a modifier, a ranged attack that could also be a modifier, a defensive shield that could also be a modifier, straight up defensive shield, and then 2 additional modifiers of a 2 and a 3. All right, first thing I'm going to do before I do anything in terms of deciding what I want to do here is I'm going to move my guy actually right here, and then I'm going to trigger Spartan Rage. So I'm going to heal 3. I'm going to then reset all of my allies' abilities, which they're reset. You'll be able to see that later. And then my next attack will be +3 stronger. So whatever my next attack will be really good. I just wanted to get that out of the way now, so this way I had it ready. I just got to remember that the next one will do 3 additional damage. So let's move Kratos back here. Let's activate the scene. Spend 3 of these tokens. Boom, boom, boom. We threw it on it, and then all 3 of these on the bottom flip over. Whoa, check that out. He actually moved over to the side over here, and now his armor is gone, so he's able to take damage. And if you take this symbol here and match it here, this is where we start tracking his health. The thing is, when Stone Ancient takes damage, all 3 of these flip back. So that means I do some damage, they flip back. I need to regain these tokens in order to hit him, in order to flip him back. So it's a kind of a back and forth thing that you have to go with him in order to try to like get as many of these out and fight back these. Oh man, it's pretty cool. Anyway, Kratos is here. First thing I do is I need to beat this guy as hard as I can. So what do I want to do first? So whatever I have is going to be +3. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bottom ability for Atreus. Targets any 2 enemies in the scene, because I'm going to target the Stone Ancient and I'm going to target the enemy above him. So this will be the first one that we use. So that's that +3. Let's see what else we got. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I want to keep going? Do I want to go 9, 10? I think I want to go. I'm going to go 9, 10. Yes, there we go. Let's move this up 1. So now we know our rage is going back up. Yeah, just making sure. 1, 2, 3 from the rage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Targeting both this guy and this guy. Again, left to right, top to bottom. We're going to target him first. So he's going to dodge for 0. He's taking a massive hit right here. So I don't know what happens with those. Hold on 1 second. Let's flip it. Aha! It's a trigger that says take all tokens from this card. So these 4 now come down to me. And this enemy will flip back over if this F symbol is turned. So I get all of these, which is awesome. And now I get to go ahead and attack the Stone Golem here. Or that Stone Golem, the Stone Ancient here for 10. -1. So he takes, there was a 1 there. So he takes 9 damage. Whatever, get that out of here. These go away. And we do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is 9 damage away from the, 25 we need to do to him. I was really hoping to do Mimir's ability, but I'm glad that I didn't, because I would only have done it by 1. So now that he has taken damage, these flip. And now he's back here with his armor all on and ready to go. I could actually spend these again in order to be able to do, the attack. Did I move anywhere? I did not move. I didn't move yet. So I'm actually going to move 1 over. Going to move 1 over here because this card can't start taking pieces anymore. This can't take any heart pieces because it's flipped over. So I moved over here. I'm on this right now. Let me know that I didn't. I'm 99.9% sure that I didn't move. So I'm over here, and then I'm going to do a melee attack against him for 1, 2, 3, like this, which would then put a piece here and a piece here, starting to fill that up. All right, cool. This is working out pretty well. Let's go back here for the scene activation. All right, so scene activation. This is getting a little crooked. There we go. Put that back. Very nice. Now I have 2 cards here that could possibly flip over depending on what the symbol is that is shown. So let's go ahead and see what we draw. So first one we get. Okay, that's this symbol. So that is just this guy right here. So let's go ahead and keeping in line with how it is. So now he is back. He has respawned. He doesn't attack me this turn because it's just counting for the spawn. So we got him back. There's no other of that symbol here. The next one is this X symbol, which is this guy right here. And he's the only one attacking. Kratos is going to take 1 damage because I only have a defense of 1 right now, but his 1 is better than none. So we'll just go bloop, and that should be fine. As far as these two concerned, I am absolutely taking this one because I definitely need more ranged abilities, more ranged attacks, the better. And this is just a straight up shot that does 2 damage. So awesome for that. I'm taking that one. And this goes under here. Okay, so let's take this away. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hoping for some big hits here. I'd love to be able to knock this guy out. Modifier-wise, we got a 3 and a 2. Plus another 2 from this defense one right here. We got the 1 arrow. We got the arrow that does a 2. I can heal myself. And then a melee attack that does 1 damage. So now I have to figure out what I want to do in what order. All right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 3 of these. And I'm going to flip the Stone Ancient over to its vulnerable side. All right, so we'll move Kratos back up over here. And then I'm actually going to move Kratos right here. Actually, it doesn't really matter which way I move him because I'm going to do damage to him right now. So I'm going to move Kratos right here. See, you definitely want to do the damage immediately to him because these are 2 melee attacks. And so he'll hit here, but then he'll also hit here. So if you're standing right here, you have the possibility of getting nailed a whole ton of times by 4 damage attacks each time. And that's crazy. But if I do the damage to him, it'll flip him back over, thus reducing the damage. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to do, we're going to do this ranged attack. So that'll start it. So that'll be the range plus 2. Then we'll add this to it, this to it, this to it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 damage so far. We'll then go over here to Atreus, and we'll use his top ability here in order to be able to do 3 more damage. So that goes up to 12. Let's not forget to move Kratos' rage up 1 more. Not that it does anything now, but you never know. And then I think in this situation, we're going to go ahead with Mimir, and we're going to use this ability right here so that the result of the enemy die is added to it instead of subtracted. Crossing fingers for a 5. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 1. Oh, wonderful. All right, so 13 damage to the Stone Golem. So I'm going to take these 2 away to add it to the 3 for the 5. I'll take these 5 away to put a 10 and then another 10. So he has 22 damage to him right now. Let's remove all of this, and he will flip back. All right, back we are. He is now fully defensed again. So what I think I'm going to do, Kratos was right here. I am going to use Mimir's second ability right here. Unfortunately, I have no abilities left over. And I'm actually going to use his move ability to take Kratos and move him over here because I already have 1 of the Ancient Hearts in my reserve. I'm going to discard these 2 cards in order to be able to collect these 2, thus enabling me to flip him back over 1 more time in hopes to be able to get those last few pieces of damage on him. I do have a heal 4 in my hands. That's why whatever damage I do take during the scene activation should be able to help myself stay alive. Crossing fingers. Yeah, come down here, you. Let's see what happens. All right, scene activation. First card, Huata. Ooh, what is this? Cancel all damage from 1 attack against you. Deal to the attacker. Oh, that's the same thing that Kratos have. That's a great defensive ability, that like a reverse hit. However, the X ability goes first, so that is this dude. Yeah, this guy right here is going to hit. He's going to do 2 damage to Kratos. He's the only one like that. So Kratos takes 2 points of damage, which is fine. And actually beforehand, I'm just going to go ahead and use my heal 4 right now in order to remove all 4 of these damage markers to bring Kratos back to full health, because whatever happens in the next draw is going to hit him regardless. All right, next draw. All right, is the Y. So that is this dude right here. I don't know what that is. P symbol, bird foot, whatever. I don't know what the symbol names are called, but this dude is definitely going to hit Kratos for 2 because I don't have anything else to defend. So that's fine. Boom, boom. Good thing I healed 4, but at least back to where I am. As far as what I'm taking, I'm absolutely taking this in order to be able to cancel all damage and return it back to the enemy. That is awesome. So there we go. Maybe this might be the last turn. We'll find out. 4, 5, 6, 7. All depends on if I happen to get any good attack cards within these 7 cards. All right, so we know we got my defensive card right here. Another shield. So that's like together in order to be able to defend against things. And then Kratos' ability, deal damage to the enemy equal to what you blocked. So this is always a +1, can be modified. This is the whole thing. This starts as a +1, but that can be increased due to modifier cards. Healing card, where I discard a number and heal however many I discard. And then here we go. We got a melee with a +1. We have a range with a +1. And then just a standard +2 modifier. I can't beat him with this. I mean, yes, technically I can. Yes, I can beat the stone golem with this. But if he rolls anything other than a 0, then I'd have to redo the whole process over again. So what I'm going to do is we're going to bring these back to my hand. I don't really need those right now. I'm going to discard this card, and I'm going to discard this modifier here in order to bring Kratos' health back up to 0 or down to 0, whatever. I'm then going to move over here, and I'm going to go ahead. Do I want to do that? No. I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna move here, and then we'll use the range attack +1. I'm gonna attack the stone golem. It doesn't matter; it only does 1 damage, so I don't get an ancient piece here. But an ancient piece will go up here. At least, kind of building that up in case I flip this over and be able to collect more of those pieces. So, not really a great round. We'll see what happens with the modifier deck or the upgrade deck, but hopefully next round we can win. Before we do the modifier, we're up to 3. 2 more attacks, and I'll be able to use the rage ability again and then actually reset all their powers because I could really use that right now. All right, let's see how much of a beating Kratos is going to take. All right, so this guy goes, and the stone golem hits me. Oh, boy. So I keep wanting to call him an ancient stone golem. That's not it at all. That's completely wrong. Stone ancient will attack Kratos. So he's going to hit me for 2. I'm just going to go ahead and use this shield for 2 to take 0 damage from him. And then the ancient is going to attack me for 3. I'm going to use that power, like, bounce back attack here. All damage from 1 attack. Deal the attacker the same amount of damage I would take. So I would have dealt him 3 damage, which means this would have went here, plus 1 would have went up here due to the damage going through on this same row. All right, so that wasn't so bad. Unfortunately, I still got 1 more to turn. Here we go. What are you? Another one of those fish things. Oh, great. But I do like that +4. That's pretty good. So he's going to hit Kratos for 2. I can at least block for 1 and deal 1 damage back to him, so it's better than nothing. So that guy gets hit for 1, and Kratos gets hit for 1. And while we're here, the stone ancient is going to hit Kratos for 3. There's nothing I can do about that. So 1, 2, 3 damage right to him, which is not the worst thing, but I mean, ugh. And as much as I say I wanted this +4, the fact that it says cannot be played with other number cards is terrible. So that means I can only modify whatever it is by +4. I'd rather have options in order to be able to, like, continuing to stack it. So I'm actually going to take this one just because, again, I can either have a shield or I can modify something by 2. So taking that one, and you, my friend, go to the bottom. All right, come on, we can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shuffle this up again and take our 7th card and hope that we have enough to be able to finally take this guy down. Come on. Sweet. Okay, so we can power up our rage meter. We draw a card to just kind of cycle things through and hope for it's the best. We got 2 different shields here that I'm not going to really need right now, and hopefully to be able to just go and hit them. I have the anything I want it to be card, which is great. That modifier that I took from the last one, and then a melee attack that does 2 damage straight up. So this is probably going to be our game winner right now. All right, first, let's take this Advance 2. And, of course, Advance 2. I'm going to activate this sooner than later. Let's go ahead and take this and draw. And we get a modifier. Beautiful. Come back to my hand. I don't think we're going to make it to the scene activation, but all of this should be Wonderful to be able to take that guy out. All right, let's go ahead and finish this. Kratos moves over here. He will then use the scene activation to spend those 3 stone ancient hearts pieces to throw them at this guy, make him explode, and flip him over. With the core exposed, Kratos leaps at him with his axe in a mighty melee attack, and that is going to be modified. Well, before he does that, before Kratos even does any of that, he's going to power up his rage meter. He will heal himself for 3. All of his allies regain back their abilities, and his next attack will gain 3 strength. Now he will take his mighty Leviathan axe. Pretend that's a 5 because it gets +3. So it'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Even with a dice roll of 5, that still does more than that. So why don't we go ahead and, just for the heck of it, do the roll. 0, so it's 11 points of damage against the ancient stone beast, the ancient stone monster, the ancient stone, whatever you want to call it. Boom, dead, gone, flipped. You're that way. And you, fell beast, are dead. Thus completing the win condition for this scenario. Hoorah! Awesome! Kratos stands over the body of the fallen monster in triumph. Rah! Awesome! And all the other guys ran away. So yeah, same thing for this guy. If you killed him, you flip him over, you take all the tokens, but then if you happen to pull the fish thing again through the upgrade deck, he would flip back over and respawn and all that other good stuff. So, in any event, everything came back to my deck. There was absolutely nothing that was added to it that had to be removed. So, no poison, no shattered crystals, nothing along that ways. And then this actually will come back as well. So that modifier comes to me. Quest number 2 has been completed. Our deck is getting really huge, so we're getting very powerful. A lot of good things here. And then with that, we go ahead to the final boss in the next episode. Guys, thank you so much. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. If there was anything I did wrong, something you would do different, or anything along that ways. Again, thank you so much for bearing with me in my voice as I gone through this. I try to edit out as much of my coughing and everything as I could. If I couldn't help it, then I'm sorry. But otherwise that, thank you again. I look forward to seeing you guys in the final boss as we go up against, who knows? I have the 3 there. You might have seen. Our options are Magni and Muddy, Herz Helzir, and Sigrun the Valkyrie Queen. I know which one I'm going up against. I'm curious what you may think. So until the next one, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.